that this particular person showed me signs. And I mean, it can be anyone, y'all. We know this. Come on now. If y'all want to talk about it, y'all want to start listening to some people that have betrayed you, that's fine with me. Y'all can shout them out. I've been betrayed. Okay? Y'all like that deep voice? I'm telling you, I'm going to be on praise and worship team because I got range. So it is the fact that, you are to reflect on the fact that this person, where did they show me signs that I could not trust them with? Good evening, everyone. Hello. Hey, I missed you. Did you miss me? We're back. That's it. Y'all see, y'all already getting a feel of just how I'm feeling today. So yet again, I'm pulling on y'all today. Why? Because y'all know we keep it really, really, really real on the B Mix here on beexposedradio.com. So I appreciate each of you for tuning back in or tuning in for the first time. If it is your first time, your first episode, welcome. If it is not, if you have seen me or listened to me talk before, welcome back. You already know how we do it. You know, the B Mix right here on beexposedradio.com is for the unseen, the unheard, the forgotten, whether it be the forgotten part of you or the person that just does not belong, right? And all of that in between, before and after, okay? It's for everybody. Why? Because it's for me, and that's all meant. So, like it or not, here I am. Y'all, y'all stay with me tonight, okay? So I am, for whatever reason today, feeling like just blah, like just, I ain't gonna say pooped. I'm not gonna say defeated. Definitely not defeated or anything like that. But I just a feeling of blah, right? And we have the right to feel however we feel, first of all. And so it's just a matter of getting out of that. How do we do that? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Help me out here, right? So we're gonna work through this together because we really are in this thing together. Amen. So y'all know how last week I got into talking about just like humbling ourselves and humbling ourselves. Let's just stay there. So how do you maintain a humble heart? How do you maintain just, or first of all, how do you establish your sense of humility? How do you, become more vulnerable every day, especially in the time that we're in? Question mark, right? Just question mark. Imagine I got a question mark on my hand. Just boop, question mark, right? The only thing I have to that, or to say to that, to get to jab at that, is, I believe we need to maintain, in order to maintain a sense of humility or to humble ourselves every day, is what we're supposed to do, is to maintain, what do they say, an attitude of gratitude. I think it's kind of cute. Y'all know I love rhyming words. I can't help that. Like, I can't help it. And to like keep a thankful and grateful spirit up in us some kind of way, right? Grateful heart, a thankful, mindset in everything that we're dealing with. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard right now, y'all. It's tough. Y'all, that breath, that exhale, baby. I feel like I've been waiting to let that out all day long. And it does not mean that my day has been ultra strenuous or just extra hard, extra trying. It really hasn't been. So that, to me, that says, as y'all know, I'm a feeler, so to me that says that is the time that we're in. That it doesn't necessarily mean that you are dealing with, personally, one or a few particular things and scenarios throughout your day that can make you feel this way. It is just the time that we're in. We are still, I'm gonna keep reminding y'all because I still see some of your cousins out here without masks on. We are still, as in currently, as in today, August 27th, 2020. Okay, we are still, unfortunately, not proud of it, but I want to be very clear that we are still currently, okay, I'm being redundant for a reason, living in the time and day of a world health pandemic, a world health crisis, however you want to see it. And that's just one thing that we're dealing with right now. Just one. Just one. That's all. Like one of many, right? So that alone, like if you get to peeling back different layers of what could bring you down, what could get and eat at you, like you could start there, and that's enough. If that's the only thing on your list, that's enough to deal with. The fact that our entire world, literally, but just the world and the society and the community and the cities, and of course in our country as we know it, it's just not. And so we are all being forced into change. If you remember last week, if you tuned in last week or caught the replay, that we are always, like ever changing. So we're always changing. It's the matter of if you will, grab that by the horns and, actively participate in that, right? It's happening. You're changing right now. Like, ooh, you just changed. Congratulations. Ooh, I just changed. Congratulations, right? It's happening every second of the day. And so it's everything in life is a choice. It's a choice. So do you choose to allow the change to happen upon you? And that's, individually, that's for your neighborhood, for your block, your neighborhood, your community, your city, your state, your country. I mean, it goes on. For the culture, I mean, for our people, like, are we just going to allow change to happen upon us? Or are we about to, are we going to, hold hands or join in? Like, what are we about to do with that? What are we going to do? So, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to multitask. Y'all pray for me. I told y'all I'm struggling today. So it's just the fact that you have to make a conscientious decision to say, I don't want to just allow whatever is happening. I don't want it just to happen to me. I don't want it to happen and fall upon me, right? And you have no say in it. I'm gonna come back to that. You remember I said that now. That you have to make the decision to be thankful and grateful for what you have now. That's all I'm asking y'all to do tonight. Like, I truly don't believe that it's a hard task, because each of us have so much to be grateful for right now. I said it. It's weird. I know. Man, it's weird. It's a weird concept to grasp, but it's true. So it's that, we have to, I'm sorry, though. I'm really trying to multitask and not doing so well. Okay, I think I did that right. I might not have. So making the decision to, be grateful for what you have now, first of all, with any decision that you make, you have to make it in the day and time that we're in right now, y'all. You have to make it with your whole heart. You have to make it with your whole mind. You have to make it with your whole spirit. You have to give everything that you're doing right now 110%. And if you cannot, then simply put, it means that you should not be doing it. There are even some good things that, some of us are doing, some things that we're embarking on, some journeys and paths and different ventures, right? That we're trying out. And it's okay. It's okay to find out that Just like last week, we were talking about just allowing things to be detached from you and allowing things to, exit out of your life. It's okay because when we have to, this is exactly why we have to recondition our mindset. When we say, let things go, just let it go, we automatically think of, things that aren't good for us, things that, are bad, that or things that we might have done or wanted to do that we know is not good for ourselves or for the community, for the culture, for our families, whatever the case may be. And that's not necessarily true. I might want to, embark on, a particular journey, excuse me, a business venture or whatever type of endeavor, right? And for whatever reason, it just may not be good. It may not be fitting for me, even if I want to do it. So that's definitely why I believe I mentioned this last week, but I will always be okay with repeating myself saying this, that we have to, because one of my main prayers right now is for myself, but definitely for all God's people, which includes everybody else. So I'm out here just covering the world as far as I'm concerned. That it I'm praying that our wants and our desires, that every day that they're aligned with God's will for our lives, like that's it. Like we just have no choice at this point. The higher being, the greater being, that you pray to, that you believe in, today is the day that you pray to find out what it is that you need to want for your life, because that's a sure way to be able to want certain things, again, not necessarily bad things, but want things for your life that do not necessarily align with what is meant for you. It is totally okay to let good things go if it does not fit you. It goes all the way back weeks, probably months ago. Now, how long have I been doing this? I don't know. Like a good amount of time ago, I mentioned that I still haven't figured out which comedian said it, but all I know is a comedian said it. And it was talking about dating though. And it was saying that women, we need to adopt the idea that we don't, what is it? Oh, the idea that men kind of operate out of. So men operate usually, I'll say usually men are the ones to operate with, first thing that pops up that gives them a red, not necessarily even a red flag, but whatever the case may be, something pops up to tell them like, sis ain't it. I don't want it. I don't like it. And they're gone. Like that, it doesn't mean that's the right thing to do, right? But to adopt that mindset, because again, then it'll join with how we operate as women anyway. And then I think that that'll just brew something great, right? And so it's the same thing when we, broaden that and think about different aspirations. What are you aspiring to do in this time? I know that there is, I've brought this up before, but there's, the continuous conversation of, oh, do you use this time during COVID 19 to, get all the things that you've been waiting to have the time to do? Do you get those things done as much as you have in your power and control to do? Or do you take this time, just allow yourself to rest? To me, the answer is both. But it's the time. It's the time. So in the beginning, what did you do then? Were you like me? I started off complaining about it. How dare I? Legit complaining about it, really just about the transition of working from home. Never once thinking like, you know what, I'm so grateful that I still have work, that there is someone out here that is depending on me to pull my weight. And any work that I've ever done, it is always, to the benefit of the community in some way, shape, or fashion, to, either a vulnerable population or, something like to somebody in need, right? And so the fact that, of course, that need is still there, and then that I'm still very able and capable of performing the duties and responsibilities that are tasked to that. Like, how dare I complain? Y'all, tonight is about reflecting on being grateful for, what we may not have been grateful for. And if we just want to stay within the parameters of COVID-19, like just in these days, I mean, I think quite a bit of us have found our days and time of complaining. um we obviously, the people, for us who are currently, watching, listening, calling in, texting, that clearly, we're still here. So we're not one of the many, many people that have unfortunately lost their lives. We're still here. That in itself is something to be grateful for. That to me is very loaded because it holds so much weight in that statement. Um, Simply because I'm somebody's been in church at some point and heard, or if you haven't, let me tell you that you'll hear growing up, you'll hear the old folks say like, I should have been dead and gone a long time ago. Heard that a million times. And baby, when I tell you, at the tender age of 30, okay, I'm just 30, that's it. I want to joke and say that it's so old. It's not. Instead of baby, baby facing old. um that I can actually say that. Like, I should have been dead and gone a good long time ago. Okay. Good. Right. And just many different times for many different reasons. And yet I'm still here. How is it that when we think of, we're from Baltimore City, like saying we're as in me. I don't know why I say we're, but like we, a city in which the crime rate, the murder rate is so high and has been for years now at the least, right? Probably for as long as we remember, but whatever, has been high. How even one is too high for me. So it's been high. And so, but yet we're spared. How? Why? Right? Like, not necessarily to even answer those questions, but that should trigger, some type of thankfulness, gratefulness, because it didn't have to be. We know that it does not mean, we're definitely out of the day and age of if you are, good to someone or nice to someone, that's the way stay out of the way of the bullet. Like, we thought about that. We thought that, I don't know, younger parents, I don't know, something, but remember, it was a big deal, like, oh, bullets don't have eyes. Yep. Yep. They never did, but definitely not now. I mean, we're hearing left and right, children, women. I mean, oh Lord, just gone, just being taken. And I mean, we know that that's out of our control, like as us here, right? Out of our control as far as, we may not have been in those different scenarios and situations. Um, but when we reflect on those things and hear of those circumstances, that not that you are to, this is what we have to get out of the mindset of. We have to get out of the mindset of, just because I'm saying that I am grateful for something does not mean that I am shunning, whomever may have been either the victim or who it affects, right? So if I am grateful for the fact that I am still here, that I have not been shot dead, that I have not, been killed or have contracted or died by coronavirus, does not mean that I am shunning anyone that has, or anyone that if it has to their happened to their loved one, that it has affected them. Like, that doesn't mean that. We have to get to the point, y'all. I can't wait for this day, whenever this day may be. But I can't wait till we get to the point where that we are so okay, that's the word I can always come with, that we're so okay with speaking our true thoughts in our minds, good and bad. Like, it's all about respect. Everything boils down to respect. So it's about deliverance, but and then delivery. I mean, but how, it's okay. It's okay to have these conversations. The issue is that there are so many of us having these conversations, excuse me, with, not so good intentions. Meaning then, even if we think we're delivering it, well, the message well, that somewhere, somehow it's not there. Like, somebody solid can pick up that it's not intended to be such a great thing that you're, saying, that you're conveying, right? And so we have to work toward getting to that day, because if everybody just stopped being so nasty, hence be a nice human. You can see that clearly. Be a nice human. It's easy. It's simple. Why? Because truthfully, I'm at the place where I've said it before. What you eat don't make me poop. Like, it's just not fitting. I'm not to be moved by anything, anybody but God. Like, that's just that's not happening. And so we are so easily offended by some things that we really need to let roll off of our chest, let roll off our shoulders, like easily. We have to be. We have to get to that point. Um, and so again, it goes back to choice. That when something happens to you, when you're in the midst of something, that it's your choice and what you choose to do in that moment. No, you cannot change the past. Yes, you can, be active in your present, in order to, affect and hopefully positively impact your future, like right in that moment. So if we think of one, two, and three, one is the past. I'm right in two. What am I deciding to do in two, in the moment two, in order to, change three or to affect or to impact three? Simple. One, two, three. That's it. And that's all. Um, it's a choice. And so what choices are you making right now? Like, of course, phone lines are always open, 443-642-9403. Always feel free to call in or text during the show. So again, 443-642-9403. But, what choices are you making right now, that either impact you negatively, or hopefully what impacts you positively? Because I really want to stay on a positive train today. Like, we need some positivity out here, y'all. It's a lot going on. It is a lot, as it has been. I actually saw a post early, and I've seen this post before, but I thought to share it today. That it said that even if we think of, because y'all see so far in the show, I haven't even mentioned, what I feel like we all heavily, or feel a little heavier than anything else right now, which is these, social injustice, that continues. I'll just say that I won't even say continues to prevail, just continues, right? And because the post said it's not as if, racism just started. We know that, but it's now being recorded. And that says a little more to all parties involved. It says a little more to our oppressors. It either, I think with them, they're making the choice of whether, okay, well, they're recording it, they have evidence, and they see that, a lot of their counterparts have gotten off with it, unfortunately. And so it's either like, okay, we can just continue to run rapid, or it's saying like, uh-oh, they got proof on us now. I don't know if that says anything for anybody, but I don't know. I can't even dare wrap my head around what they could be thinking in the world of the oppressors. But then when we think of for us as not necessarily the victims, right? But all of us that, are the onlookers, are, the ones that watch the videos and see what's going on, that it says a whole lot for us. It makes it extra real. It makes it like it makes it ultra real, actually. And it says, that this is so real that you're able to witness this time and time again, not even, just with different encounters, but with the same encounter. So with one encounter of social injustice, social inequality, social malice, that we're able to see it over and over because it can just be played just by the click of the play button. Something we've all been familiar with for, a long time. Like, I've been pushing the play button since the VCR. Like, I learned how to do that when I was a child. You know what I mean? So something so simple, that we could, push a button that we're so familiar with, that then, brings forth so many feelings, so many emotions, so many thoughts that are not necessarily always in a positive light. I don't believe, even to anyone, and I could be speaking, I'm definitely always open for y'all to correct me, but even if I was to think for anyone that's out protesting, or anyone that's making some major moves, on behalf of, the culture, the community, our people, that even if they got to the point where they decided to make those decisions, to do that work, that it may not have happened immediately after, viewing a video, right? Or pushing play. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that, Like I believe that as all of us being human, that as you push play and watch a video, that you have to work through your own emotions. You have to, go through your own thoughts. A B tip of the week is honestly the next time that if you're up to, um, watching any of these videos, that I am never encouraging us to, because I don't want you to feel pressured, at least not from me, to do so, because you don't necessarily have to watch the video in order to be a part of or do something about, because I mean, it's enough of it out here that you have proof. We have to stop looking for another reason to be upset, another reason to be sad. Like you don't have to, because you have to protect yourself. We talked about this some weeks ago, right? But if you find yourself watching, unfortunately another video, or most recent videos, take the time to write through your thoughts. Take some quiet time and write through your thoughts, whether if it's during the video, right after you watch, however long you get through the video, if it's in its, full in its entirety, sure. So you get to the end, or if not, whenever you stop, write your thoughts through. Just as soon as they come to you, just get them out. Because I know that not a lot of us in this time right now are seeking the therapy that we need. I'll admit that. I'm an advocate for counseling, therapy, all of that in between. And I haven't spoken to my therapist the entire time that we've, been on quarantine or whatever we're still in, like lockdown or whatever, for a couple of reasons. But, I've really been working through my stuff, but I still take the time to day in and day out, a time to be gentle, with myself, just to allow myself to be okay with whatever I feel. Because I come from a place of, never wanting somebody to feel like you can't feel that way. Like how dare you feel that way? Like I don't even like when, how we get to talking about like the black movies and all those little hood movies that y'all love. Miss me with all that. Okay, I'm not saying I'll never watch them. I'm not even knocking them. I'm not knocking the movies. I'm not knocking the people that have watched them or are watching them. Just don't give me that. Oh my God, you ain't never watched this. Don't do all that. Go ahead, right? So it's like I have the right to feel the way I feel, especially because it comes from a place like I was so sheltered. Okay, so get over it. I couldn't even watch that stuff. Like I couldn't, which doesn't mean that I'm knocking anybody. It just means that I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up. And then once I got old enough, I wasn't introduced to it really. And so I don't know. Oh Lord, until I guess started dating hood boys. I don't know. Whatever. Right. The point being, it is okay to feel how you feel. What you do in that very next moment is crucial. Right. So again, if it helps to write them out, I've actually been making sure that I love to just share and spread the wealth. So something that helps me sometimes if I don't get to like writing something out, sorry y'all, I'm not being biased, but I'm not sure about Android phones, but I'm pretty sure y'all have this feature on your phones. But definitely iPhones, like there's a voice memo feature or app or something. I'm sure if it's not already on your phone, you can probably put it on there, right? So it's record it. Just talk to your phone. We do it all the time anyway. We talk on the phone, we talk to people, right? So we're talking through the phone. Talk to yourself, talk to your past self, talk to your present self, especially talk to your future self. And then, and you can take it bit by bit. You don't have to talk to your 5 years from now self. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You can talk to your tomorrow self. So then, but then also know that then remember every moment, then there's the next moment and what you're supposed to do with that. So if you are, if you happen to voice record or, you can do a video for yourself, or if it's just your voice, right? But whatever you do, that then make sure you do a follow-up. Go back and listen to it. Go back and, read what you wrote. I promise you that there's even it makes a difference even from day to day. So if you are writing, whether it's to your past, present, or future self, or just writing out your thoughts, or voice recording your thoughts, your current thoughts and feelings, then that it'll tell you to it'll help you, sorry, not tell you, it'll help you to like listen to it or read those thoughts the very next day. You know what it does to you. I can tell you, because usually I'm not that person that likes for people be like, oh my god, it's so funny, you gonna laugh, you gonna crack up at this one. Don't tell me. Just tell me the joke, because more than likely I'm probably not gonna find it funny, but because I know you think that it's gonna make me laugh, I'm gonna just be like, that's crazy. So sorry to all the people I had to do that to, but whatever. But it'll help you realize where you were just from day to day. So by this being Thursday evening, say if you were decide to do this right now or after the show, after y'all like, share, and comment, and text or call in 443-642-9403. Again, 443-642-9403. Remember to like and share this video right now, right? Just to spread the wealth. Let's get everybody in on the conversation, right? But it'll help you that if you were to do it right now or after the show, that then even by tomorrow morning when you first wake up, tomorrow in the afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be, that it'll show you where your thoughts were right now. And in those moments tomorrow, you'll be able to reflect just on right now. And I mean, your world will you'll start to see things clearly, or you'll try to put things into perspective at the very least. To be like, wow, I was thinking that right then and there. Child, you might even be stuck on the fact that you may have been writing so fast that you misspell something that you never misspell. Like, I don't know, like, and then it makes you think like, wow, how did I misspell that? Girl, I'll never misspell that word. Like, whatever the case may be. And that helps you to realize like, wow, I was really in a place. And y'all, again, because I really don't want to keep the mood, so blah, like in a good way too. So write good things, write good thoughts. As y'all are sharing and liking this video and commenting right on the show, let me know what you are grateful for in this moment. On today, what are you grateful for? What are you still grateful and thankful for right now? During COVID-19, during all the social injustice that we see, that we're actually able to bear witness to right now, what are you grateful for? What are you thanking God for every day? What can you thank him for if you haven't thanked him? That's a question. When's the last time? Okay. Well, you have to say thank God just yet, because I know that'll scare some folk. I get it. When's the last time you said the words thank you? And when you said thank you, who were you thanking and what were you thanking them for? I want to know, for real. Like, yeah, like even if it was a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, or if it was thank you for the $1 million, or if it was, thank you for my cold pizza. I don't know, whatever the case. If it was, I don't know, to a younger sibling handing you the remote, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just, when was the last time that you actually said the words out loud? You said thank you. When? We can't lose ourselves. We can't lose the basics as we matriculate through life. They're the basics for a reason, meaning they're our foundation. The foundation stays strong because you stay grounded and connected with the foundation.
I got one.
By which you have been built upon.
I got one.
Yes.
Well, I just told you about it right before the show started. So
share it.
It was, I actually said thank you to my neighbor, because I felt thankful for them coming over and apologizing.
Love that.
For the incident that they did to me last night.
And that's definitely my point of it doesn't, not that it doesn't matter, because I guess I have to get away from that phrase, but for me, just for me to make sense of it, I always feel like it doesn't matter just because people make mistakes, even if they meant it, whatever. It's, if it can be viewed as a mistake, it was a mistake, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm not saying it's by accident, some mistakes can be, on purpose, whatever. So we'll just stay with the word mistake. But it's always about the after fact for me. So it's always about what you do to remedy the situation. You can hurt people, not that you should intentionally, but you can hurt people's feelings even by thinking that you're doing the right thing.
Right.
So that is, I love to hear that, just from neighbor to neighbor, like that speaks to me. Like,
Yeah, it was a different experience to me. I mean, I was thankful. I mean, and I probably would have said thank you for either way, but it was a different experience because I wasn't thinking that they would have came over and apologized. Because again, I told you how I feel about neighbors. I don't need you, and I don't need to know you either. But it was a different experience that they came over and they saw they saw what they did and actually acknowledged it, and now want to do better.
That's it. And see how simple, like, that's it. And
because
then
in
look how
today's world, most people wouldn't do
impression.
that.
Right. and I love it. Like, just the lasting impression on two simple words, two words that we all, even from the rudest person living in the world right now, I'm sure at some point was taught to say thank you. So we have all been introduced to the concept of saying thank you for something, some to someone. And so two simple words that, for a lot of us might have lost, its value at some point in time, or just lost the power in it. But two simple words, a lasting impression. So I absolutely love that. I appreciate that. That's my producer, y'all. Like, I could go in there forever, because I even think of the fact, one, I've already said, like, just, we have to get to the place where you're grateful for what you have, right? So, and even for so then it's the choice of what you do have. Then how do you use that? Are you using it, for good? Or are you using it for bad? Like, it might sound like, this superhero world, superhero movie day, whatever, but no, like that. No, it's really real life. Like, what what you decide to do every day, it either is good or bad. Like, it's kind of clean and cut right there. It's not really in between. Now, when it gets to be a gray area is because, maybe you intended it to be well. So you heard someone was ill and you went to check on them. But this is a real life story that I've heard, that, you went to check on them, but, they're ill. So they probably didn't answer, or whatever the case may be. And then you decided to feel some way because they didn't answer, because you thought you were doing well and meant to do well by checking on them. I get it, but chill out. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. So it's like it was a good intent, but then you turned it to be ugly. And then you decided to sit with your feelings of, I was going to check on them. It's not that deep, y'all. That's what we really need to get to. It don't be that deep. Like, for real, y'all. Like, it's not that deep when we think about it. The things that we are holding on to, that keep us feeling some type of way, that keep us feeling in a more of a downward way versus an upward, like, that stuff is stuff we can let go. When we're talking about allowing things to be detached from us, that's also on that list. That's a long list of things that, long list, because as you are letting, people, I got to this place a good while ago of allowing people to exit themselves out of my life. Never that, because I'm this person that's like, if we are close, I just, in my mind, it's like, well, this is forever thing. Like, I'm a forever thinker, right? Like, I can't help that. So it's like, if we have linked up, friends, if I'm dating, like, it's like, this is about to be forever, right? Like, this is it. So it's never that I've been this person of like, oh, everybody's disposable, blah, 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 blah. Like, that hasn't really been my thing. I've jokingly said that, but it's a joke because it's actually the opposite of what I really think. And so it's like, I just got to a place where if people show me or do, anything against me or toward me, it's okay. Like, just they just walk on about. It's okay. So much so that y'all know I got a little story, right? Y'all thought this whole thing was about to be no. Mama got a little story for y'all. So, bam, 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 it's story time. Um, Here's a little story that you might like to hear. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna get back to my deep stuff in a minute, but y'all, Lord, why must we be tested? I guess I get it, but why, right? So, I guess jumping right into it because it's a short story. So I'm cracking up because I just pulled up the messages. I'm not about to read them verbatim, not all of them anyway. But long story short, that one of my exes literally messaged me on Facebook Messenger like earlier this morning. For a few reasons, it's weird. One, he called, if not yesterday, the day before, like through Messenger. So clearly, one have chosen number. That's not me. Look, I don't even know that. Like, that's when people are somewhat disposable. And I'm gonna get to that point because I'm working on that piece for myself. Actually, let me make that note. Disposable and what I was fitting to say about it. Okay. Sorry, y'all, because I can't forget to bring that up. So I'm that person like exes, like it's like, all right, like okay. Like if I didn't have a baby by one of my exes like that, it would really be all exes. Like they just once I'm over it, it's like, okay. Okay. Anyway, like I said, we'll get back there. So he has always been, he's like lived his life on IG, like legit, like as far as I've known. Ridiculous, right? And so for it to be Messenger, it's like, oh, okay. I never answered the other day. I saw the video call come through. Like, what am I about to just randomly answer for? I don't know. I kind of missed it anyway. It was like a short call. It's like you called, I guess, enough to make sure I saw it, but whatever. Not about to get in my mind for me to even try to figure this out, right? So, like I said, messages me the earlier this morning, says something off the wall, like a little raunchy, whatever, right? So leave that. I think I opened the messages, but I said nothing, right? It was just literally open it and close it. And so then it comes back with some more and it's okay, whatever. Okay, we're gonna pass that. And then a video call, and then a quick one, and then you say my fault. No, you meant to call to make sure I saw that. So here's Benia. Here we go. I figured you called in error the other day. I dropped down because I like this little drop down thing now. How are you? Like I'm bypassing all the raunchy you just said. Like we're not gonna stay there. It's choice, y'all. Choice, okay? So says cooling, same old, just thought of you. And I guess this other message was asking, am I okay? Because it's with an emoji. That's childish to me. Ask me if you really care. So I never answered that part. So then I guess he was asking like, you okay? Because he used that little okay emoji. I don't have a question mark. Please. So I just put, that's good. He loved it. Where is the love? Like, bro, what we loving stuff for? Anyway, so then for whatever reason, puts like the strong arm emoji and the heart. I definitely don't know what that's about. I don't bypass that. So I'm in my mind, I'm ending this conversation. Given could have said absolutely nothing at all, but I'm also like, we'll end it so that way we know, or at least for me, it's ending a conversation. So that's it. Hope you have a good birthday coming up. Not what are you doing? What are your plans? Because I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to include myself. It puts like the love, like the feeling loved emoji. It says thank you, but no problem. Then he says, so I guess my dream won't come true. I thought you realized I ignored this on purpose. Okay. Y'all got to tell me I'm not the only one dealing with exes during this COVID stuff, right? So I say, correct. Like for many reasons. Like one being, aren't you in a relationship? You already know how I rock. I'm going to respect that and her, even if you don't. When I say open that thing and I ain't heard from him since, you got to cut him at the knees, y'all. You got to slice it. You got to get him out of there, okay? Like, I've been that person, be like, okay, don't say anything at all. Maybe that's how they'll go away. No. So then it's been, in times in the past and whatever time of weakness or whatever, Absolutely. Like you fall for it, I guess. Okay. How I got sitting. Um, like, okay. And now it's like I can speak and say and get straight to the point and say what it is and still be a nice human. Y'all like that? Yeah, I ain't like that. All right. Y'all don't give me no credit. It's okay. Y'all not talking to me today. It's fine. Phone lines are still open, no matter if y'all talking or not. 443-642-9403. Call and text me. Let me know what's up. Especially because I still want to hear about the last time that you said the words thank you and when you were thankful. And what you were thankful for, who you were thanking. Again, even if it was at the carryout, I just want to hear it. I just want to know somebody was out here saying the word thank the term and the phrase thank you. I'm big on it. And I can't believe at some point I was in a relationship, not even that one, where it was like explaining those things. Like you don't say thank you. Like you don't do that. You weren't taught to do that. Ugh. Moving on. So I'm big on it. And I don't feel like I want to force a human, an adult, to have to do that. Like I don't even want to have a conversation about it. Like me, the conversationalist. Like I don't want to talk about it. I just want you to do it. That's all. Or if we have to address it once, then just let it be. Moving on. So that being said, like even with that story, like it made me think of like, yes, first and foremost, be very grateful for what you have. Because to me, that would be my message for him. Like, of course, there's always more to say. Like, be grateful, and go and be a good man, a good boyfriend, to who you are with. As far as I know, that you're in a relationship, but y'all see in my message, I wasn't even trying to get clarity. Oh, are you still no? As far as I know, you're in a relationship, so you stay in that relationship, right? Also, that's what's with the person that you have a baby with. You know, the same baby you conceived 4 months before you moved out of my house. Same thing. Okay. But go be with that person. Be a good example of a man to your daughter. That's how I feel. Like that's where I am. Like I can't get any deeper. Like, because I want to have these conversations with people, but they don't be wanting to hear me, Lord. Like it's whether if I'm quiet talking or not. Like, child, y'all ain't trying to hear me. Not y'all. It's others. I'm gonna just say them. All right, whoever them are. Them usually just this ambiguous word out here. Like, who's them, right? Um, it's just not what we're trying to do. Or not I'm trying to do. And I hope that is what none of us are trying to do right now anyway. Like, but y'all want to talk for real? We can talk. Like, do you have the thought of, has anybody dealt with, saying no to, or fighting off temptation, right? In any way, shape, or form, whether if it's eating that extra piece of cake, whatever the case may be, and you've talked yourself out of it. You have successfully said, no, not going to do this. No, you're not doing that, this, and the third, right? And then it's that afterthought of like, did I really tell myself no? Like, and I'm sticking with it. Okay. And then it's on your mind so heavy that you can either resort back to, the issue at hand, which is you go all the way back to and actually give into the temptation. Or you fight and become stronger in that very moment. So there's that, thought 1, 2, and 3. So in that very moment of 2, where you impact 3. So your third thought rather is that you are getting into like, okay, yes, I did. The temptation came. I said no. I felt good about it, knowing that I said no for a reason. And even though I thought about it again, I'm still choosing to stick with that decision to, say no and to fight against that temptation. Not easy all the time, I'll be honest, but simple steps. Step 1, 2, and 3. That's it. It's decisions, right? And so that way you're able to look back and reflect on and be thankful for that. And that's how, your strength is built to fight against, like I said, the temptation or the things that come up, right? And so I know, like for me, because nobody thought that's me, what I'm grateful for, baby, so much. With that story alone, I'm honestly thankful for my covenant with God. Like, for real. Y'all want to be truthful? I am, I am currently single, right? Have been. So of course it's, that thought of like, right? And then here goes some free game tonight, y'all. Y'all want free game? Let's get into it. Because I know this is a B mix, so we get to talk about whatever we want. Um, Hi, Daddy. It's my actual father, y'all. Love you too. Daddy, I don't know if you're sticking around for this, but I'm about to drop some free games. So, free game is this, right? So the reason why, even with you think about, and oof, I'm jumping, y'all. Let me let me slow it down. So I had the thought, of course, to help me get through when we're talking about like helping you fight through the temptation or fight against the temptation of when exes come up or just whatever. Like I said, the extra slice of piece of cake that you think of the benefits. And so if it is in the scenario of like an ex, right, that just pops up, that it helps you to, in a sense, like you have to be your better judgment of character, but to think of why you're not together in the first place. What would be the purpose? The reason why I made sure I started reading verbatim was to include that he had said, cooling, same old, right? And clearly, right? Because he definitely cheated on me, right? And so it's like, oh, you really are the same. Like you reaching out to me and all that, like I'm not doing that. I've been that person. Like, no, I'm not okay with, partaking in that. No, I'm not looking for revenge to be like, well, somebody else. No, for what? And I'm always thinking of karma, of how this comes back to me. So when I'm married, I don't need to be thinking that what things will happen, and I mean things are happening rather, and then something else is happening, or you're thinking something else. That's my thing. Like I don't even think that's a control issue. That is just, it is literally the respect that I expect from being in a solid, relationship with someone. Like if we're exclusive, that's what I expect. I expect it. Like you're when we talk about, that your actions are what show you, who somebody is, right? So it's even your thoughts, then your actions really show you who somebody is. For me, it's even deeper than that. It's your intention. So it hurts. It would hurt my feelings to know, like, if I was, this girl that he's with, like, I have this baby, that's his first child, and all of that, and yada yada yada. Whether she knew if I was, part of his life at that time, but that's still not on me. That's not for me to worry about. Never. I don't think I ever really worried about that part because that's nothing to do with me. I wouldn't even have the issue with her, right? I'm getting to the free game, I'm coming. But I had to back up a little bit, right? So it's the matter of, just me thinking as a woman, as a Black woman, like she's somewhere, having laid down and had this man's baby. I believe the baby's going on like a year now. Like, this ain't a baby at any age, really. A child at any age is something to take care of and something to deal with. But that, and just knowing him, I'm sure he's annoyed and mooched and just things, right? Just whatever. And he has his own issues that he needs to work through. And then on top of all of that, I've been in COVID, okay, have been, on top of each other, okay. So that can, take strain on people just in general. And then again, just me knowing him, hoping that he's been a better person, but this now showing me that you're not, that just how she would feel. Like just to know, like, dang, I thought we were okay. You'll be cheating on me. I'll be dead. In COVID, you gonna go to your ex? Come on, bro. Like, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So the free game is the fact of, again, being a single woman and, wanting to believe like, okay, yeah, I can do whatever I want. So I want to think. That's really not how I think now. I'm gonna get there. The free game is that, as women, we really believe like, well, what would help them out outside of all of the other stuff is, I ain't trying to add no bodies to my list. So if I was to do something, I guess it'd be better to do something with somebody that's already established, a situationship somewhere, right? Not to add to the body list, the body count. Men, let me tell y'all, people of the world, let me tell you, like, we think like that, okay? Like, some of y'all really got off the strength of the fact that your ex or whomever just didn't want to add to her body count. And so, yeah. Okay. The only reason it crossed my mind, even after the fact, I was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Then, so again, why I'm grateful to the covenant that I made with God, that I really have made the covenant that I'm going to wait until marriage. That's it. If it never comes, then it never comes. It's just going to fuse back together, child. That's just how I probably on his way there. Anyway, but the point being, like, it just is what it is. Like, I know for so many reasons not worth it. So that means to tell me that either you have cheated or you planning on or thinking about cheating on this girl. It means to tell me that no, I'm not proud of it, but bruh, I carried you. Like, might as well carried you in my womb. Like, so of all the things that I've been and done for you, you think to look back and, reach out on like a sexual tip? No, I'm good. Yeah, no. And it shows that you haven't changed. Here's the other piece of free game. Y'all want to reach back to exes or, reach out and try to hook up or whatever. Like, but yet we can, as the woman, don't think that women that we don't think like this, that, for me to be able to see that you have not changed, because you're not even coming on the crazy part is I could have entertained if he came through with some, can you do my hair? I recently did my brother's hair, and I was like, dang, I actually missed it. So I guess this is my problem. Y'all be careful these thoughts, baby. They will manifest. Okay. And I don't know about nobody else, but I'm only trying to manifest my prosperity. Like, my prosperity is manifesting within me. I heard this recently. So like, that's the only thing I'm trying to manifest. Okay. So careful of your thoughts. But I literally out of nowhere, just doing my brother's hair. And I was like, dang, I actually miss doing his hair, that particular ex. Because I just love his hair texture, and I'm just, I like hair. Don't worry about it. Mine ain't always hooked. Don't worry about it. But like, just I thought of it. So then here it is, some days later, and they started hitting my phone, like, which would have never happened, I feel like. It was really out of the blue. Meaning also, though, it told me, and that where I've trained myself to think this way, that, it's the enemy trying me. Like, it was a test for me. Like, all right, not to mention, Lord, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm proud of it, but the exes come checking for you, girl. I'm just talking, but I'm telling the truth, okay? Like, here it is, Lord have mercy. You have one that called, I don't know how long, maybe a month ago or so, like, trying to beat off together. Sir, okay, no. Seeing as you went to go turn the camera back around, thanks. Which relationship? I'm dating, but even still, I'm waiting till marriage. Oh, good luck with that. Okay, click. Like, then you got this one. There was another one. Lord have mercy. That one was to tell me a special place in his life forever. Sir, don't. It's okay. We're okay. Carry on. Okay? Like, it's okay to allow things and people to fall off, like, to detach from you. It is so, everybody just do this. Just wave it off of you. Just get it up off of you. Like, I refuse to keep anything or anybody in close proximity to me. But this is what I've been waiting to get to, right? So be careful, and why I'm still all on the, be a nice human, because be careful of how you allow that to happen, or be careful of the part that you take in that, right? Because it's better to allow it to happen. So allow the change that we talked about, right? The change that's, the ever change that's happening, right? And how you take part in that, because you can do some damage. Y'all know I will never be shy to say we all have, God created each of us, right, with purpose in mind. So divine purpose in mind, whether if you like it or not, whether if you found it or not, whether if you, have forgotten it or not, find it again. Like, it's there, each of us. And I mean, literally each of us, even to, the custodian in a Fortune 500 company, like, they serve a purpose, right? That's it. I don't know what else to say. So be careful, because that, if there's a purpose, that means just that. Purpose means that there is a greater thing. We'll just leave it there. Greater thing than you. Great, but it's, embedded in you for you to bring forth in order to, shine your light. However y'all put it all different types of ways, but a lot of us are really saying the same thing. That is what we all have to realize. Most of us are really saying, and the only reason I say most and not all, because the ones that are not saying the same thing is the people are not saying anything at all. The people that, are just listening and learning and observing, that's fine. Or the people that have no clue whatsoever. So if you have a purpose, your purpose really isn't, y'all have seen it on social media. If you haven't, let me tell you that I think I agree with the fact that, as we get into business, shout out to it being, minor or small business month, business awareness month. I was gonna get to that, but I had to put that plug in there. That, it's your audience, your clientele, your customers are not necessarily the people closest to you. That's their purpose, right? They serve that. Doesn't mean that they can't support. That doesn't mean that. What it means is that your purpose is greater than. So it's for the people out there. Oh, y'all about to knock myself out. It's for the people that are, out there that you can't see, right now, especially of us doing a lot of like remote and virtual, work and things, right? Just a lot of things like through the computer and phones and all. So it's people that, you cannot see, that you obviously cannot touch. I mean, at least 6 feet apart. If not, that, you probably never be in very close proximity with them, but yet somehow you're reaching them. And your purpose is like it's inside of you to be much greater than your physical being. The spirit is greater than man. Like it's just things, right? Things to put into perspective and things to think about. And so when we think about the people that, are not aware of their purpose, that's probably who you have to reach, to be honest. That's who you're going to probably come in contact with. So that's why it's good to surround yourself when you choose the people and things that are around you. It's those things that, that feed into you, not just feed from you, right? So draining you, but that pour into you and, pour positive things into you. Cut the gossipers out of your life. I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. I don't. I'm so like about what I hear. I can't even help of how like blah, I guess I've been feeling for a while if I really think about it. I can't even find myself being like getting very excited about a lot of things. And I'm thinking on a negative end, right? I'm thinking of like, I know that could be a sign of depression that, you just don't find yourself like finding having fun or enjoying. There we go. Enjoying, that's the word I was looking for. Enjoying, things that you usually would find enjoyable. Like, no, that wasn't even that. It was just like my spirit just ain't here. It's not touching on it. And I think that really turned into like some friends just deciding to just part from me. And that was okay. Now, the way they went about it is definitely wrong. But so I had a right to feel, a way about it. But that was it. I just allowed it to happen. Like, okay, all right. Am I telling y'all just to lay down and take everything? No, but it is still how you handle it. It is how you handle it, simply because just because this is my ex, so the same story time, right? Just because this is my ex does not mean that he is not one of God's children. So it doesn't give me the right to, I don't know. It's crazy because I'm not in this mindset at all. But I guess what other reaction could I have had? What, to cuss him out? I guess. Why would you think to text me this and message me and I'm dreaming of me this way? Like, that would have just really gave him more energy to feed off of. It really would have probably made me more susceptible to his BS. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just the way I think. Like, no, I'm good. Like, I can still be very civil. I'm probably the best type of ex to have, really. Like, I can be the one that we really could be friends and I could hang around the family and your people, like your new girl, all that. Like, but we just not about to do that because you also have to be there. You have to be in that place. And he's not, and that's okay. Like, I feel that way with anybody in my past, like friend, foe, ex, family, frenemy, whatever the case may be. Like, it's okay. I can still find myself there, but I'm still learning in that time, though, again, because everything is choice, that as I prepare just for other things coming up, like other events and honestly like some birthdays coming up and all, just of how I plan to handle them. Like, I'm probably just not going to put myself in certain scenarios. So again, it's a decision and it's a choice. And I'm thankful on today, like, for me being in the mind space that I am now to make those decisions early on, rather than allowing, say the day of an event that I was supposed to go to, of some friends that I feel like just betrayed me, right? And just, I don't know, walked into like this ambush like situation. And so it's like, instead of me waiting until another, scenario where I know I'll see all of them, and waiting until that day to decide, am I going? Am I going to do this? No, I already got my game plan. I can still support from afar. I'm just that person. And it's like no skin off my nose. It's okay. Like, and I still mean well by it. I don't mean it to be nasty, facetious, or anything like that. Like, that's just it. And then as we are like being grateful for, the small thing, what we call like the small things, we have to be mindful of that, because it's like, first of all, your gratitude is like your seed for your increase. So your grateful heart and how grateful and thankful you maintain and keep within you is just the seed planted, to manifest your prosperity, to manifest the increase to come to your life in different ways. It's not always going to be money, y'all. It's not always going to be, the next car, the new house, but it can be. It absolutely can be. Those things will come. Materialistic things will come, but it's really the other things. Like for me, my peace is what means more to me than anything else, like literally anything else. Because if I'm not at peace, I can't enjoy anything else that might come, right? And so with that it's also like the key that unlocks the new levels. So when you keep a grateful heart, so this is why I say be careful of even saying like I'm so grateful for the small things. Be careful of what you're saying. Like cleanse and purify the way that you think. This is why we're in the process, and to me that as a people we have to be in the process of actively be in the process of reconditioning our minds. So when you think of a statement as, I'm just grateful for the little things, while that is good to be grateful for the little things, make sure that you are not minimizing the things that, the things that you have, the blessings that you have right in your grasp. So, when you, I mean, we can go real deep with all of that. Of course, excuse me, as believers, we'll say like, I'm just grateful to wake up this morning, which is good. And that's exactly what we should be grateful to see another day, a brand new day, a new opportunity to fulfill the purpose that's within us, even with, the smallest step we might take, right? But it's the fact that we have to see that the small things matter in the big, to the bigger picture, the small things. So again, when we talked about way back when we're talking about just not just, but your positive contribution, to the movement, for the culture, what are you doing? And so it just starting off by being a nice human, like my shirt says, be a nice human. That is a positive contribution to the movement, for the culture. Anywhere I've gone, if I find myself in the airport for whatever reason, even at BWI, so right in Baltimore, so people that are not from here would know, like, I'm in BWI, so it's Baltimoreans around, I don't know, right? Especially a black one, right? But somehow I was always that person, like a foreigner or or just someone not from here is asking a question, like felt, comfortable enough to ask me a question. So to me, that means that me just being me, right? Just naturally being a nice person, like, and helping them with, oh yeah, it's over there, or I'm not sure, I'm sorry, here's this person though, they might be able to something, right? Just help in the way that you can. It left an impact, just like Monty was saying, first of all, the producer of my show and the owner of BeExposedRadio.com, okay, and the host of Talk Lately, okay, on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I had to plug that in there because I did not earlier. My apologies. But just like he was saying earlier that, the last time he said thank you was to his neighbor. Like someone right there, like living right next to you, and yet that's leaving a lasting impression. That is the point. We talked so much, and maybe we'll get into this next week about first impressions versus lasting impressions. Like both of them are equally important. I might actually judge that about being equally. One might be a little more important than the other, but they both serve a purpose, is my point. Like, be a nice human, y'all. It's okay, even in this time. So that's why I want us to, as I hope that, each of you that will watch the replay of this show, that, it just invigorates somewhere in your spirit, in your heart, and in your mind of the last time that you were thankful, the last time you said the words thank you, who you said it to, what you were thankful for, where you were. I hope it creates a whole scenario, just brings back to you exactly what that situation was, how that made you feel, and stay in that moment. Because right now we have to find the peace and the positivity in everything, because it is some there. There is some there. Even with, the most recent, scenarios and situations going on, it's some situations, I'll admit, are a little harder to find the peace and the positivity in, but that's exactly why they say, like, God's peace is the peace that surpasses all understanding. So child, when you don't understand it, that's God stepping in like, babe, I got it. I know you don't get it. I know. Like, I know. But I'm even grateful still for like the miracle of many, like something else that I've heard recently, like the, the miracle of many, that, God is a one that, still in today, right now, performing miracles. So even if we're not hearing of them, we have to be, thoughtful and considerate that they're happening. Just because you don't know something does not mean it's not happening. Can we get that out of our systems? Like, we got some purging and some work to do. We have got to get that out. Even me, like, even I'll feel like, at times that, oh my goodness, you need help. How are you going to get it done if I don't help you? And I have to remove myself, like, wait a minute, I'm not God. Like, just because I mean well. So that's why we talk about intent, right? Versus, thought and action. That how do I feel like you can't get it done without me? Yet in another breath, I'm the person to believe that if I help to, say if, for example, if I help to build or establish something, that I want to see it, continue to be fruitful, even after, if I, detach from it, depart from it, whatever the case may be. If I don't know if it's a job, a program that I'm working, I'm fired, whatever the case may be, God forbid, but it's happened and I've still wished that program well. So it's the same thing. Like, whether you're helping or not, whether if you know about something or not, because there is so much more happening out here, more than what you know, good and bad. There's so much on a daily basis. We watch the news, we troll all through social media, and there's still more. There's still more happening. I'm the, I ain't gonna say the epitome of that, but I'm definitely one to bear witness of. Even in the times where I might have posted on social media the most I ever had in my life, and I mean about like very personal things, that still wasn't all that I was dealing with in that moment or during that time. I'm just not that person. Like, and it doesn't mean like, oh, don't put your stuff in. Not getting into that conversation. That's another conversation for another day. But it is rather just about, considering. So if you're not an empath, if you are not somebody that can find empathy, you are not empathetic, okay. The empath in me even feels for you there. Like, oh, how could you not? Like, lucky you in a way, because you don't have to feel for the world like I do. Like, I feel for the world on a daily basis. But if you do not, you at the least consider. And at the, root of it all, like I said, like I always say, is respect. You just respect that someone somewhere is going through something that you may not know about. So then in turn, like I said before, it's okay to, be thankful for, when, so just like in prayers, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of, I've actually heard of someone being turned off by hearing a prayer, like, how could they be thankful that, it wasn't their family member that, was, I don't know, for example, killed in the car crash. And it's like, well, you can be grateful that it was not someone that you know or knew or, that was close to you. You can be thankful for that, meaning that God, protected those that you know and you love, as well as feel for the people that it did impact and that it did affect, and that, who was victimized by that situation. You can do that simultaneously. That's okay. Let's put that out there. Let's normalize that it is okay to feel for somebody dealing with their stuff and be grateful in the same breath that, it is not you. That's okay. It's okay. What's not okay is to have that attitude of like, I'm glad it ain't me, like that see how that switch over, like that's a thin line. Like, you can just hop right on over there and then it turns nasty. Don't, like, no, we're not gonna do that, y'all. Be a nice human. First, be kind to yourself. Be kind to those closest to you. Be kind to those who you love. Be kind to those who you do not know. Be kind to those who you may have never met. How do you do that? Just consider again that there are people out here dealing with some things that you may not be aware of. Hence why, it's not for you to feel as though that people are, easily, disposable. Like, given. I do hate for somebody to make me feel like I have to make them feel like they are indisposable. I mean, that they are disposable. Like, sometimes in my past life, you feel like you got to check somebody. But that was always, to me, it was justified because it's like you forced my hand. But that's still me relinquishing my power. and allowing that person, or allowing something to happen for me to allow myself to get there. So that aside, but it is about, like I was getting to, of, in the example of when I read the messages or whatever, like for my ex that most recently reached out today. And it wasn't for me to, be mean to him. It also doesn't mean that there's any love, as far as, beside that, I love all God's children, just like there's a baseline love, like my love just can't stop. But is there like a love that I used to feel for him when I, loved him, was in love with him? No. Like, seriously, y'all, no. Like, for real. I'm laughing, but child. So it is the matter of the fact that, it's not for me to, treat him, in a way that is nasty or mean, especially if I feel like I'm trying to get a point across. My point would not have been made. My point, I believe, was very clear. And because he knows that I've always been a person, just he's spoken to that, like, oh, you care about, like, you care about your peace. That's it, but yeah. Right. So, I think that my message was made clear and, hit home in a better way because it came from like a good place, and it was, a good and clean like delivery, like versus me, like I said, cussing out or whatever the case may be. Like, no. So I have some comments. So from Shola, she said, once you pass through that strong temptation phase, yes, you become at peace and you don't even crave it anymore. Come on. Proud of you. Thank you. Proud of you. And hey, Mars, love you. I'm very grateful for, oh my God, kids. Oh my God, babies, especially you, Mars. She's not nosy, by the way. She's inquisitive and she's a part of the family. I'll be sure to let you know whenever we are on a topic where we need to put the kids to bed. But it's a family affair here, honestly, because I want everybody, even the young babies, to know, like, it's okay just to put your stuff out there. It's okay, like, in a certain way. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable in order to, build back up, and not to leave it for other people to do it, but you're building yourself back up, but people can have a hand in too. Like, that's again why it's good to surround yourself with people and things and places and things that, build you up in a positive way versus anything else. But absolutely right. Like, you don't, you no longer crave for it. And I'm grateful for that too. I'm telling y'all know I'm a crazy Christ believer. Like, I can't help it. And I say crazy only on the strength of, like, so many people know it's irrational. I get all that. But I'm telling y'all, I know for sure God knows me. I told y'all I scresses him. Okay. Not stress, scresses, right? So, because I told y'all my guardian angel is always sitting here like, lately, I think I've been doing okay. Like, I think my guardian angel's been like, all right, I can breathe a little bit. My guardian angel ain't had the shakes. I feel like I've been sitting there with Parkinson's or something. Like, not poking fun at anybody with Parkinson's, but I really feel like I've given my guardian angel a nervous breakdown or something quite a few times in life. But that, I really believe that God knows me so well that he, even took the craving away from me, knowing that I'm very serious about this covenant that I'm in with him, because I am really waiting until, somebody, not somebody, but my somebody decides to marry me. And that is totally fine for whenever that happens. God also knows that I would be distracted in so many things of, that I'm trying to do right now. Again, shout out to Small Business Awareness Month. I think that's the correct name for it. Forgive me if I'm misquoting that, but shout out to, and I love it because if y'all remember when I first, when the B Mix first premiered on BeExposedRadio.com on July 2, actually, that I had my guest Gifted Priest on here. And so he started calling big businesses. Like, I love that. Or even if we say brown, whatever, however we call it, just to get away from calling them small businesses. I absolutely love that movement. And I think we all need to link arms with that. But that, it's that. And truth be told, that I was going to be a little extra and read it, but I've received, like, I know I've said, like, oh, I've been working on something, y'all. Like, I think something. So I have officially formed my first LLC. And like I said, in the name of Small Business Awareness Month, I'm very excited about that. Like, things, are coming. Like, things are happening. And that more so that I know I had formed it and I had received that paperwork, but then just registered for through the state of Maryland, that I received my official paperwork that I can conduct business in the state of Maryland, and that my business is in good standing. Like, I'm just saying, like, and I literally got that paperwork after uh, friends of mine, like, after I felt betrayed by like friends of mine, like, it just be like, all right, just let things happen, let things roll, and good will still come to you. It is not the end of the world, and it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings in between. I definitely had to deal with some thoughts and feelings. I believe I, mentioned enough of this last week, but thoughts and feelings like right after that, like for those first few days, like I was just like, ooh, I was heartbroken, to be honest. Like, I'm big on friendship. I am. I truly believe, I actually said this recently. I truly believe that that was my issue with allowing, or not allowing, but I guess, yeah, allowing the cutoff and the breakup or whatever. Just allowing that to really leave my mind. Like, when I talk about companion relationships, right? So, like, who I dated, because more so I made them my friend. But in retrospect, I had to realize that it's just that I made them my friend. They weren't necessarily my friend, because, while I'm looking forward to my husband being my friend first, because some things, I don't know, maybe if you think it's okay to do, I don't know why, but you think it's okay to do to your spouse, but you wouldn't necessarily do it to your friend. That's what I need. Like, I pride myself on being a great friend, and I take it seriously if I'm ever, challenged to not be that, right? And so, but yet on the flip side, I've experienced so much of like betrayal from friends, like over the years. It's ridiculous, but things have to happen. You have to be tested, and I think I dealt with this one this time around better than I have in the past. I keep on pressing. It's okay. It will be okay, y'all. So like I said, that news came, and just, other things are happening and, moving, or at least I'm trying to get them to do more, to go and to continue to move. I'm still stepping, and so I'm saying all of this to encourage each of you to do the same thing in the time that we're in the, uneasy place that we are in. It is still on you to make good decisions. It is. It's unfortunate, I know, because it sucks. Because it's like, how do I make good decisions when it's hard right now? Like, how do I make good decisions, for me and my family and for the community and for, our people and for the culture, if everything is against us? I totally get it. I do. And I'm also here to tell you though that you you have to. Not easy, but simply put. Thank you, Shola. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you. Pray for me. Everything's still a process, but still. So, it's like you have to make the decision, because like I said, it's not your decision to say that this person, because you are mad with them, that you don't get to, if you are a praying person, which all of us need to get to that point, honestly. At this point, let's just start at the bare minimum of whoever you're praying to, then we'll work toward, who. But I believe we all pray to the same person, we just call them a different name, child, right? But truthfully, that, I pray that each of us get to the point of building our prayer lives, meditate, pray, all of that. Like, it's not one or the other, it's get into all of that. And so I as a praying prayer, like, I'm a prayer warrior, right? I am someone that has always been someone to cover people at the least in prayer, and that I don't get to choose to say, well, this person betrayed me, so I don't get to. Yes, honey. Maui wants to say hi. I don't know if he's going to actually going to be or not. I'm saying right now, if you're not wanting these lights down, y'all better be praying for him. So I'm playing. I won't be hurting because I'm a punk when it comes to babies and animals, and old people. My favorite people on earth, side note, animals, babies, and elders. Moving on, especially the cute old people. Oh, Lord, I love those. Anyway, but don't get to choose to say this person betrayed me, this person was mean to me, this person was nasty toward me, so I'm not going to pray for them. Ugh, nah, they did this to me. I don't get to do that. Like there are people, there are people out here dying. I do not get to choose over no catty, gossip girl, mean girl. You can't sit with us. We only wear pink on Wednesdays. Like mess when people are losing their lives. I mean, we have the explosion in Beirut, like we have the hurricanes coming down in Louisiana and Texas. I mean, y'all, we're in COVID. How many people have died thus far in the matter of months? Yes, it seems like a long time to us, but it's months, and so many people have died this year. Come on, y'all. Like, I don't get to no, I don't get to do that. So I have literally still prayed for these people, right? Most recently, I've now just literally talk about spiritual maturity. Amen. Ooh, that just came to me. That now with my ex, I don't know the last time I prayed for him, but I used to, even after the fact, even after especially once I got definitely once I finally got to the place of like forgiving him and yada yada yada. But like now him popping up, yeah, of how he popped up, that wouldn't be the first thing that thinks to your mind, like, let me pray for him. But now I know, like in my night prayers tonight, I'm including him in my prayers. Just, God, just pray for him. Oh, see? Maui and Zane. Hey, Maui, Zane says hi. Okay, he's right here. He says hi. But like I don't get to choose that because let's all be clear. I'm very grateful. We're talking about what we're grateful for tonight. I'm absolutely grateful for, and I might really write out a list. That might be everybody's homework. After y'all watch this, just write a list at the least 5 to 10 things that you are grateful for in your thoughts today alone. Like if you can reflect on the rest of the week, I'm sure you'll surpass those things. But from the what we call the smallest things, which is still God's favor. So him waking us up is not a small thing because either we could have woke up out of our minds or not been able to use our limbs, or we could have woke up dead, as in, I mean, we can get deep into that, but yeah, it could have happened, or we literally could have just not got up this morning, right? And so, or whatever time you got up. But make a list of things that you're grateful for after you watch this. And so it is, on us though to keep a grateful spirit, simply because everything that we have is not from our own doing. We had some work in some things, but really, blessings fall upon you. They come to you. What's really meant for you. Now, the things that you have that may not be something that is a blessing versus it could be a burden or something that you attain another way. Did you sell your soul or something? Did you give that? I don't know. Like, because the enemy can definitely be the person. Y'all done seen them little cartoons back in the day. And the devil come in and be like, oh, I got gold and silver here. And it looks all good and stuff, right? Because it came all easy. Just saying, some reflection. But yeah, like just I'm grateful for many, many, many reasons. Simply put, I'm really grateful as we're about to get out of here that as we again, as we allow ourselves to be okay with allowing things or either removing or allowing things to be removed out of our lives or detached from us, we might grieve those things. I have definitely grieved some living things. We can definitely get into that deeper some other day. But there is still gratefulness within your grieving, right? Just like you receive more for your mourning. All those that are in mourning, my heart cries out for you. And I still know that there's more to come. There's more life to live after that, through it and after it. So I want everybody. Oh, Sholissa, she is trying to make me cry tonight, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. That was a perfect timing because she's trying to make a thug cry on the camera, and I'm not. I am grateful for you, Shola, and I mean that. I mean that, not from the bottom of my heart, with all of my heart. I absolutely mean that. And for each of you that have tuned in tonight, listened, watched, especially for all of you that, will catch this on the replay, I'm grateful for you because it was, meant for you to do just that, to catch it, later. And that's okay with me. I appreciate you. I acknowledge your feelings, your thoughts. Your feelings and emotions are very important and significant. Work through them, cope with them, write them down, do voice memos, and actually listen to them and reread them tomorrow or sometime over the weekend. By then, for sure, you'll be in a different place and you'll be able to reflect and see how you felt today. All that aside, it's been another weekend episode of the B Mix right here on BeExposedRadio.com. Until next week, peace.
But Blue, speaking of my 600-pound life, you had a question about fat people being pretty. What do you think? I was trying to get him back on his question. I was trying to.
I did not say anything about fat people being pretty.
Because I think I'm pretty.
You are dog.
No. That's right.
Okay.